The Georgia Valley, an arid land where thorny bushes grow densely under the scorching sun, is now under siege. Wild hogs, ferocious beasts with razor-sharp tusks and cunning minds, have turned this place into their territory. They dig up the land, destroy crops, leaving behind desolate trails of dust and rock. The wild hog's relentless destruction has spread throughout the region, drawing hunting teams from all over to this valley. Vehicles are rolling in, fully equipped with firearms, ready for the battle to reclaim this land from these beasts. In Georgia, wild hogs don't just go in groups, they possess razor-sharp tusks and cunning intelligence, spreading chaos across the arid valley. Each year, these wild hogs cause millions of dollars in damages, turning farmers' dreams into nightmares. Trees are uprooted and water sources are contaminated by the muddy paths they create. Their destruction isn't just an economic burden, it's a fight for survival, forcing hunting teams to step in and protect this land. Just as I was moving around to locate the wild boars, the herd suddenly appeared. They ran up onto the road. I quickly raised my gun and pulled the trigger. The first shot rang out. One boar was taken down, but the others scattered in all directions. What a shame I was out there alone. A gunshot echoed from another location the moment another hunter spotted his target. Oh no, a miss shot. In a valley filled with dense thorny bushes, it's incredibly hard to pinpoint the exact direction the wild boars are running. What a pity to let them get away, but it just goes to show how fast these creatures really are. Next time, I'll make sure to aim more precisely. Our new stop was amidst a thicket of thorny bushes. The wind howled through, rustling the shrubs and swaying the branches, as if foreshadowing an approaching storm. Hidden beneath the dense canopy, the wild boars, cunning beasts of the forest, lay in wait. But we would not allow these monsters any chance to escape. The hunting dogs had locked onto the target and barked furiously. My teammate spotted the wild boar's hiding place. He raised his rifle and took careful aim, leaving no chance for the prey to escape. A gunshot rang out, and the boar dropped instantly. The echoes of gunfire rolled across the valley as more wild boars were taken down, one by one, with ruthless precision. The hunt was growing more intense. Only the fastest, strongest, and luckiest could hope to survive. But now, luck is no longer on the side of these wild boars. Next, we moved to higher ground with a wide view of the valley to get good firing angles. As soon as I spotted a target running alone among the bushes, I seized the opportunity, pulled the trigger, and the wild hog stopped instantly. The hunting dogs diligently continued their work, sniffing out and locating the wild hog's hiding spots. Charlie's, my teammate, swiftly raised his rifle, took precise aim at the prey, and then an ear-splitting shot rang out. The prey could no longer. Here it is. Another wild hog is darting through the bushes. They're incredibly fast. I was already in position, ready to pull the trigger. After accurately determining the prey's path, the shot rang out. But they were too quick. Then another shot echoed. This time it couldn't escape. After completing the hunt in the high visibility area, we moved through the dense bushes where long-range visibility was obscured. The thick, intertwined bushes combined with the rugged landscape created countless escape routes for them. The continuous barking of the dogs rang out, and simultaneously, I raised my rifle, aimed towards the sound of their barks. The shot echoed. I quickly followed the dogs' barks to the wild hog's location. Moments later, the hog's bulky body was still twitching in the bushes, about to heave itself up. Another shot rang out, and it lay motionless there, unable to escape. The golden light of sunset had fallen. In the quiet air, we patiently followed the tracks, still searching for our prey. The hounds barked fiercely. Gunshots rang out in rapid succession. The hunt was more intense and challenging than ever. After a fierce battle, the wild boars were finally taken down, but the scars of their destruction remained etched into the dry soil of Georgia. Fields torn apart, crops devastated, and the livelihoods of many threatened. Without strong control measures, these cunning beasts will continue to multiply and wreak havoc. This battle is... Hit like, share, and subscribe to follow the next intense chapters of this wild boar hunt.
Wild boar hunting is considered an essential method for controlling their population, preventing excessive growth, and minimizing the damage they cause. When left unchecked, wild boars not only destroy crops, but also pose threats to human safety and disrupt the balance of the ecosystem. Have you ever imagined the thrill of chasing wild boars from the air? Today, we take you on an action-packed and highly challenging adventure, hunting wild boars by helicopter. This is a true battle of wits and skill. On one side, the swift and cunning boars, and on the other, expert marksmen. Will the elite hunters allow their prey to escape? Join us for this intense chase and see if we can successfully take down our targets. Hunting wild boars by helicopter is both thrilling and demanding, requiring seamless coordination between the pilot and the hunters. The aerial advantage allows for easier spotting and tracking of the boars compared to ground hunting, especially in dense forests and vast grasslands. However, the high-speed flight of the helicopter, combined with the agility and intelligence of the wild boars, makes it difficult to get an accurate shot. This demands exceptional marksmanship and precise weapon control. Even a slight mistake could result in a missed shot or pose a safety risk. The sky is clear and bright, perfect conditions for tracking down these destructive invaders. There they are. The sound of the helicopter immediately alerts the boars to danger, and they start fleeing. Gunfire erupts. We are determined not to let a single target escape. We continue our journey, flying toward other cornfields, where signs of wild boar activity are evident. With the targets locked in, the first shots ring out, shattering the silence. Panic spreads through the herd as they scramble to escape, but with precise aim and years of experience, we take them down one by one. Our helicopter flies toward yet another vast field. Below, another herd of wild boars is rampaging without hesitation or fear. Gunfire continues to roar through the air. The expert sharpshooters land accurate shots, swiftly bringing down the prey. The boars fall under the marksman's precise aim. Wild boar hunting remains one of the most effective ways to control their rapidly increasing population and prevent devastating damage to farmlands. As the day progresses, the sky turns cloudy. But there's no turning back yet. Our final target is a massive herd of wild boars fleeing below us. They're running fast. We must hold steady and fire with precision. A few more rounds, and the last of the invaders are finally eliminated. Thick clouds roll in and the wind picks up, but that doesn't dampen our determination. The helicopter pushes forward. The boars are gathering below, time to move in closer. The first shots are fired. Some of them are down, but many are still desperately trying to escape at incredible speed. We must keep pursuing them to the very end. This hunt was truly intense and challenging. The helicopter gave us a significant advantage in tracking and eliminating the targets with high precision. We're thrilled to have stopped a major threat to the local farmers and their land. Thank you for joining us on this thrilling adventure. If you love action-packed hunting trips like this, don't forget to hit like, share, and subscribe to catch more exhilarating pursuits in the future.
In Spain, the wild boar population has doubled over the past 2 decades, reaching approximately 1 million. Projections indicate that their numbers could double again by 2025, despite over 400,000 being hunted each year. We had been tracking the wild boars for days, waiting for the right moment to strike. Today, everything was ready, guns loaded, hunting dogs in position. The tension was palpable as we embarked on our mission to restore peace to our lives. The freezing winds whipped against our faces, and the rolling hills were blanketed in snow. Moving silently through the wild winter landscape, we knew that today would be a true test. In this weather, wild boars were not only more cunning, but also far more dangerous. One small mistake could cost us our lives. Following the tracks in the snow, we traced the boars that had caused severe damage to the villagers. Every step had to be taken with caution. After nearly an hour of tracking, we spotted a herd of about 20 boars on the opposite hillside. The team signaled to one another and approached stealthily. Each of us selected vantage point, waiting for the signal to attack. This was it. The herd was in our sights. We opened fire simultaneously. The first bullet cut through the freezing air, instantly taking down the lead boar. The herd panicked and scattered, but we had already set up an ambush. 3 more shots rang out. 3 more boars dropped instantly. What's this? Do they really think they can escape? That is simply impossible. before we could celebrate, we had to refocus on the battle ahead. Guided by the hunting dogs, we rushed to a dense thicket. Upon arrival, the scene before us was pure chaos. The dogs were struggling against a massive beast. Instinctively, we fired without hesitation, neutralizing the target in an instant. The situation wasn't looking great for another team member either. He was chasing down a wild boar that was desperately trying to evade capture. For a brief moment, the target paused. He seized the opportunity and fired. The boar wasn't particularly large, but its cunning nature had cost us significant time and effort to bring it down. Dense thickets are the wild boar's favorite hiding spots. Not far from our last encounter, another target was detected. By the time we arrived, the boar had already been subdued by the hunting dogs. Raising our rifles, we pulled the trigger without hesitation. Headshot. The thick snow made movement difficult. We climbed a hillside, targeting a few stragglers trying to evade capture. Oh no, things were not going as expected. It was an entire herd of adult boars. Using the terrain to our advantage, we decided to set up an ambush. Waiting for the right moment, my heart pounded. As soon as the boars lowered their guard and the distance closed, we unleashed our fire, immediately taking down the largest one in the group. Chaos erupted. The team gave it their all, trying to take down as many targets as possible before they disappeared from sight. Though exhaustion began to set in, seeing our hard-earned trophies quickly reignited our spirits. Charging through the thick snow, we closed in and took down another fleeing target. Along a snowy trail, we made our way to the next location. That familiar silhouette once again came into view, guns locked and loaded, and then a thunderous gunshot rang out. The wild boar collapsed motionless onto the snow-covered ground. Moving to the opposite hill, we discovered fresh tracks. It seemed another herd was heading in this direction. We decided to set up another ambush. After 30 minutes of patient waiting, the boars emerged. We let them wander into position before opening fire all at once. One by one, they fell. This wild boar was particularly stubborn. Dragging its wounded leg, it left a long trail behind. But within seconds, a well-placed shot put an end to it. The wild boar population here was overwhelming, and we couldn't possibly eliminate them all in a single day. Before returning, we took down a few more targets and decided that we would be back the next day. That's the end of today's hunt. Did this adventure get your adrenaline pumping? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more thrilling hunts.
I originally planned to visit Kizilkumum to enjoy the breathtaking mountain scenery and catch up with my old friend Hassan, a seasoned hunter. However, as soon as I arrived, he eagerly pulled me into a hunting trip. Kizilkumum is known for its dense forests and rugged terrain, an ideal hiding spot for wild boars. My relaxing trip suddenly turned into a real hunt, making me wonder, today, who is the hunter and who is the prey? Luckily, I arrived in the Kizilkumum Mountains of Turkey right at the start of wild boar hunting season. Hassan was generous enough to equip me with a new hunting rifle and plenty of ammunition, ready for an intense chase. As soon as we got there, we eagerly set up our formation. Wild boars are abundant in this area, so we didn't have to wait long. Suddenly, one dashed right in front of us. Even though it was running, its speed was only about 15 kilometers h, not fast enough to escape our sights. Seizing the moment, we fired multiple shots, successfully taking down the target on the spot. We continued our ambush around the forest. Suddenly, my radio crackled with Hassan's voice. Wild boars were approaching. Below the mountain, a herd of wild boars stormed through, shaking the forest. Seeing the perfect opportunity, I immediately fired at the leader, but the boars were quick and darted into dense bushes to avoid being tracked. As soon as another one emerged, I fired again. The shot hit its mark, and the wild boar fell into the bushes, marking another success in this extraordinary hunt. Hassan and I kept tracking and blocking their path. From different angles, wild boars kept appearing, running straight into the trap we had set. Gunshots rang out in succession, and we couldn't help but laugh at their foolishness. The thrill of taking down target after target was overwhelming. I was completely absorbed in this hunt. Before I could celebrate, I spotted another wild boar moving near the mountain's base. I focused on my aim, but I couldn't hit it immediately. After 2 consecutive shots, the boar managed to escape into the thick bushes. We didn't give up and moved down the slope to investigate. I reloaded and fired another shot, just to make sure it had no chance left. From the mountaintop, I spotted another potential target. A herd of boars flickered in and out of the dense foliage. This time, it was my friend who took the shot, but the boars were too fast. However, just seconds later, Hassan delivered a precise shot, successfully taking down a lone wild boar trying to escape. Hunting isn't just a chase, it's an intense battle that doesn't allow a moment's rest. Hassan and I followed the mountain ridge to continue our expedition, and we were lucky enough to run into another group of hunters active in the same area. They were chasing a pack of boars hiding in the green hills ahead. Without hesitation, Hassan and I decided to join forces and surround the targets. As soon as the wild beasts panicked and rushed out of the bushes, we immediately pursued them, shooting them down one by one. We were so immersed in the hunt, the gunfire, the thrill of the chase, that we completely lost track of time. Only when we were about to leave did we realize we had taken down nearly a dozen wild boars. After breakfast, Hassan and a few friends quickly prepared their gear, ready to head into the mountains for another challenging wild boar hunt. There wasn't much time to enjoy the fresh mountain air today. We hurriedly pressed on with our pursuit. The boars were running on the edge of death, but not all of them were agile or lucky enough to escape our guns. looking at our trophies, I couldn't help but think about a delicious lunch, a roasted wild boar feast, seasoned with the signature spicy flavors of the Kizilkama Mountains. A successful hunt and an incredible meal were waiting ahead. That afternoon, we enjoyed an amazing wild boar feast in a small village. Instead of returning to the mountains, we decided to change direction and head to the vast open fields nearby for more hunting. We stood silently, observing and listening to every signal from the hunting dogs. Constantly moving, we carefully approached our prey. Then, out of nowhere, a massive wild boar charged at full speed, forcing me to react instantly. I fired multiple shots, but the beast kept running. Fortunately, it finally collapsed in the middle of the field. On the way back, that familiar dark silhouette appeared again, prompting us to immediately give chase. This time, my friend wanted a different experience, hunting a wild boar from the vehicle. It ran fast. At a considerable distance, Hassan fired 2 shots and successfully took down the target. With everything we had achieved on this unexpected trip, I was absolutely thrilled and already looking forward to the next time. Thank you for joining me on this adventure. Don't forget to hit like, share, and subscribe to support the channel. Ever since I was a kid, I've been captivated by terrifying tales of monstrous wild boars, fearsome beasts lurking in the shadows. But instead of being afraid, I felt driven. Driven to learn, train, and become a fearless hunter. Tonight, my team and I are diving deep into their territory, into the dark corners where these ferocious creatures roam. A tense showdown is about to unfold, and only the boldest will prevail. Wild boars are powerful animals, but at night, they become even more dangerous. Limited visibility gives them the edge, and their instincts to hunt, flee, or fight kick in with full force. Some people have been chased for hundreds of meters through thick forests. Others suffered serious injuries for underestimating their speed and aggression. In China alone, over 10 wild boar-related incidents occurred in just the last 2 months of 2024, resulting in 7 casualties. Aware of how brutal these night warriors can be, our hunting team set out early to reach a familiar fort, well prepared for tonight's mission. In the pitch-black darkness, we relied entirely on our scopes to track every move. It didn't take long before the first boar appeared. I fired quickly and took it down, our first successful hit of the night. Sweeping the scope to the left, we spotted another group of wild boars foraging silently in the distance. I picked one, isolated in the middle, and pulled the trigger. The heavy thud of its fall startled the rest, and they scattered. We kept adjusting and firing, determined to bring down more. We remained still in the open field, scanning patiently, until another herd approached. Their course first stood out starkly under the moonlight. They were massive, arched backs, stocky legs, and solid muscle. I took careful aim, and with a clean shot, dropped one right where it stood. The others bolted, but we managed to land a few more hits. Still, none of us were disappointed. Hunting is never an easy stroll, It's a relentless battle. As the night deepened, more and more boars appeared, bolder and more aggressive. But fatigue was setting in, so we made the call to head back. Yet on the way home, we couldn't help but stop. An overwhelming number of boars had taken over a freshly seeded field. Gunshots echoed through the night as boar after boar fell from well-placed shots. For us, seasoned in the war against wild boars, hunting isn't just about protecting crops, it's an unquenchable passion. Though the night's thrills still lingered in our minds, a new challenge awaited us the very next day. As usual, we gathered in the afternoon to prep before heading back for dinner, gearing up for the real action after dark. By around 10 p.m., we reached our ambush point. The bait had been set, and sure enough, the first boar came sniffing in. As it stepped into the kill zone, I squeezed the trigger. One shot, one kill. But that bait didn't just lure one, it attracted a whole herd. The biggest and strongest were always our priority. 2 well-aimed shots brought down 2 more. We paused to catch our breath before the next round of pursuit. After regrouping, we moved past a small garden near the edge of the field. Through the scope, we spotted another herd hiding behind thick foliage. We had to move closer, and when the moment was right, I opened fire. The booming gunshot sent the herd fleeing. One particularly large boar wasn't so lucky. Back at the same field, the boars had returned. I locked in on the alpha, by far the most destructive, and took aim. But our wild boar pursuit wasn't over yet. On the far side of the field, the herd had returned again, scavenging for leftover crops. There they were, boars streaming in from all directions. This was the moment we were waiting for. The entire team moved in for the takedown. During the day, wild boars tend to stay hidden or move slowly. But when darkness falls, they grow bold. If you're thinking of joining a night hunt, make sure you're equipped and prepared. A single misstep can turn the hunt into a nightmare. Did the thrill of the chase get your adrenaline pumping? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more epic hunts coming your way.